Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Continuing our top 15 series, we've got something special lined up for you today. I know so many of you have been asking for a customer reviews analysis for this one. Well, we're finally doing it. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Now, let's hear directly from our first reviewer about their experience.
This reviewer recounts a challenging experience setting up this cable modem router system. Our reviewer's primary motivations were to maximize internet download speeds, expand Wi-Fi coverage throughout their home and onto their deck, and achieve optimal connection speeds for a gaming console via a wired connection. This client immediately encountered significant difficulties during the initial setup process. Connecting the system to the internet service provider's network proved unexpectedly complex, requiring multiple attempts and interactions with the provider's app before successful recognition. This reviewer notes that even after seemingly successful initial setup, the system reported the device as offline in the provider's app despite functioning correctly. They found it necessary to schedule a service appointment to address the issue. The configuration of the main router and its satellite unit presented further challenges. Our reviewer strongly advises against using the router's administrative interface for setup, finding the app-based method to be far more reliable. Even with the app, achieving a successful connection between the main unit and the satellite required several attempts and significant time investment. After finally getting everything working, this client experienced a complete system failure overnight. Initially, this client suspected issues with the internet service provider, but quickly realized it was the router system itself that was at fault. A required firmware update, initiated via the app, ultimately resulted in the satellite unit becoming completely non-functional. Troubleshooting efforts, both independently and with the manufacturer's technical support, proved extensive and ultimately unsuccessful in resolving the satellite issue. The manufacturer concluded the satellite was defective, though this client suspects the firmware update played a role. This led to a return and replacement process, which further disrupted this client's internet access, necessitating the purchase of a replacement system while waiting for the new satellite unit. This reviewer emphasizes the considerable time investment required for setup and the potential for unforeseen complications. They highlight the frustration caused by the system instability and the considerable inconvenience of resolving the problems, especially given their reliance on a consistently reliable internet connection for work. Despite the difficulties, this client acknowledges the system's potential, noting its impressive performance when fully functional and the significant improvement it provides in terms of speed and coverage. They express their hope that these initial issues will be resolved with the replacement system.
All right, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer embarked on a quest for a cutting-edge home networking solution after their existing system failed. After extensive research, our reviewer opted for this particular cable modem router, drawn in by its promise of superior performance. The initial setup, while straightforward in terms of physical installation, presented the first hurdle. This client, a former test engineer with extensive experience in technical documentation, found the instructions surprisingly lacking in clarity and detail. While the initial connection to the internet service provider went smoothly, accessing and configuring the device's online interface proved frustrating. Repeated attempts to log in using the recommended credentials failed, leading to several calls to technical support. The first support interaction proved unhelpful, but a subsequent conversation with a more knowledgeable technician finally resolved the login issue, a simple password reset. However, this initial success was short-lived. Shortly after, our reviewer encountered a connectivity problem with their television, displaying an error message recommending a specific Wi-Fi channel. This prompted another attempt to adjust the channel settings within the device's interface. Navigating the online manual, this client discovered poorly written instructions and an unintuitive interface for changing the channel. The manual, while mentioning channel selection, failed to clearly explain the procedure, requiring further troubleshooting. The solution, it turned out, involved inputting the frequency directly rather than selecting from a list, as the instructions suggested. This ultimately resolved the TV's connectivity issues, revealing that the preferred channel offered superior signal strength. Despite the initial challenges, this client acknowledges the device's positive attributes. The physical setup was straightforward, and once the initial configuration hurdles were overcome, the device operated efficiently. The password change, once accomplished, ensured seamless access for all connected devices. However, our reviewer's overall experience was significantly hampered by the poor quality of the instructions and the unintuitive interface. This client notes the absence of a simple 2.4 GHz/5 GHz selection, unlike their previous system, which operated automatically. While compatibility with older devices was confirmed, the initial setup process demanded considerable patience and troubleshooting skills. The product, though competitively priced among high-end options, would not receive a 5-star rating due to its convoluted setup, the inadequate user manual, and the unexpected initial connectivity issues. This client ultimately recommends the product with some reservation, emphasizing the need for patience and technical aptitude for a smooth installation experience.
Cool. Let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer replaced their internet service provider's combined modem and router with this cable modem router, hoping to resolve connectivity issues with newly installed security cameras. Our reviewer's initial impression was positive, although the setup process presented some challenges. This client found the initial setup instructions somewhat misleading, as the device strongly encouraged using the mobile application, seemingly downplaying the alternative web interface option. This proved problematic because their internet service provider wasn't listed as compatible with the application's streamlined setup. While the application did provide the necessary contact information to activate the modem with their provider, the process was not seamless. After activation, the application incorrectly indicated that this client remained connected to their old equipment, requiring additional troubleshooting. This delay in full functionality might have been due to the new modem requiring complete setup before fully working, or potentially a delay on the part of the internet service provider. The reviewer couldn't definitively determine the cause. Ultimately, after a period of troubleshooting, the device successfully connected, and all devices performed as expected, experiencing improved aesthetics due to the sleek, antenna-free design. The signal strength also met or exceeded that of their previous router. However, a significant issue marred the overall experience. This client, aware of basic network security best practices, immediately attempted to change the default administrator username. This is a crucial step to protect the device from unauthorized access. The inability to modify the default administrator username was a major concern for this client, calling into question the advertised security features. They found this limitation to be unacceptable and almost reason enough to return the device. This is a critical security vulnerability and a serious oversight that needs immediate rectification by the manufacturer. While the accompanying security suite is highly rated and heavily advertised, its inaccessibility to users relying on screen reader software rendered this feature unusable for our reviewer. This, combined with the unchangeable default admin username, severely impacted the overall assessment of this product. That's all for today. If you like this, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments.